How's it going, everybody? I got a new payload for the Hak5 Shark Jack Display, and it's called Network Hunter. I've been working on this for a little over a week now, and I think I'm just about finished with it. I'm going to do a quick demo of it, and it's called Network Hunter. It's a Red Teamer Network Enumeration and Credential Sprayer, and by credential spraying, it's really just FTP. Everything else with the limitations of this is kind of difficult to handle. It's not impossible per se, but it wasn't worth putting it into this payload. But I have alternatives for that, and I'll show you later on. I did integrate the menu feature on the Shark Jack display, so I will show you this. And what you're going to do, you're going to run the network scan first, and then the rest of them will be able to work after that. As you can see, this is the only one right here that will do the spraying, and then we got the recon, and these two will give you next steps, and then this will look for default pages like admin and login and so on and so forth, if there's anything that's running a web service, or you can run them all at the same time. Loots will save locally onto this, but they will also automatically go to your C2 cloud if you have one set up. So the way that works is this payload, just like the SMB spy, will look for your C2 configurations. If it finds that, then it goes to a connection test, and if it can connect, it will upload. If it not, it will just fail silently and it will save locally. So let's get into it. All right, now we're getting ready to run this thing, and we're going to go into payloads and browse payloads, and mine right now is set into my payloads. And we're going to click on Network Hunter. We are going to run this payload. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into my little mini switch here. Zoom in a little bit so I can show you what all it does. All right, Network Hunter version 1, Red Team Enum by Hackazillarex. Push to start. And then right here is your menus. Network scan, FTP spray, SSH recon, SMB enum, HTTP enumeration, run all, view loot, quit. But we're going to run the network scan first. It's going to wait for the link, and then it's going to start scanning. It's going to do its pane sweep and everything else, just like SMB spy. It's using its Nmap to leverage everything. Or it's leveraging Nmap to do its scan and provide the loot for that. You'll notice here in the background, this is my FTP server running, just to confirm activity is being hit onto it. And you're about to see some things hitting it right now, actually, but that's where Nmap is fingerprinting and searching for open ports and stuff like that. And this is going to output, where's my finger at? Oh, there it is. This is going to output all of your live hosts with the open ports and services attached to it. And after this is done, I'm going to clear this log so I can show you the FTP scan with a fresh new. All right, it's uploading to C2. Now we're going to FTP spray, and here we go. And there it is, looking for good users and passwords, and those will come back as a response of 230. Let's see if we can find one. Right here is one. Let's see if we can find some more. I'm sure there's more. Here's another one. So that is working, and it's sending to my C2 cloud. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the SSH. This isn't going to do a scan, it's just pulling information from the network scan, and it's giving you next steps on how to suggest to progress with your engagement. And same thing with SMB enumeration, it's just copying the same thing that's on SMB spy. This is almost kind of like a Swiss Army knife of network tools on the Shark Jack display. And then HTTP enumeration. I don't have anything set up right now to show any results on that, but I'm clicking it just so you can see the upload. And I don't want to run all or that, but I'll take you to my C2 server and we will check out the loot. All right, we're at my C2 server. I'm trying not to stand up too high so you don't get my IP address, but I will pull up Network Hunter. And here is what that loot will look like when it's finished. Here is my FTP results. And it shows that .1 and .31 had port 21 open, but the service was not responding. So it went ahead and jumped onto .55 where it found these. And then it tells you next steps on what you might be able to do afterwards. SSH is basically the same. It shows you everything that had port 22 open, and it just gives you next step suggestions. You can read through them. And that's the same as SMB enumeration. And it actually gets a little bit deeper than it does on SMB Spy because I've added a few other things to the bottom here. And then here's HTTP enumeration. It did not find anything, but I am going to say that this payload is ready for a pull request on Hak5's GitHub repository. And I will also be hosting this on my own GitHub. I hope you guys enjoy. I got a lot of good positive feedback on SMB Spy, so I'm really excited to see how you guys like this one. So as always, thanks for watching.